How's it going, guys? It's me. This is part 3 of our series on ancient Roman poetry, and if you haven't already watched them, definitely check out parts 1 and 2 after this one, because in this series, we are exploring some of the most important works in all of classical literature. You don't want to miss it. In the last episode, we discussed Catullus, one of Rome's greatest lyric poets, but unfortunately, there were so many great Roman poets that we have yet to discuss. So today we will look at the life and poetry of another one of Rome's greatest poets. He was a Roman poet and satirist of Etruscan origin, who lived from 31 to 94 AD during the reigns of Augustus, Tiberius, and possibly the early part of Caligula's reign. Like Catullus, only a small portion of his work has survived the test of time, but it still provides us with an excellent lens through which to view Roman society in the late 1st century BC and early 1st century AD. His surviving poems demonstrate a stoic wisdom and a strong criticism for what he considered to be the stylistic abuses of his poetic contemporaries. He is best known for his work Satires, a collection of poems that parodied contemporary poets while offering biting social commentary and philosophical musings. This work, along with the few remaining excerpts from his epic and his letters, offer a unique insight into the world of ancient Rome and the life and thought of one of its most brilliant and enigmatic poets. Alright, now let's meet our man. Aulus Persius Flaccus was born on December 31st, 31b, in the village of Norba, in the territory of the Etruscans. Although little is known about his early life, it's believed that he was born into a wealthy family and received a thorough education in rhetoric, philosophy, and literature. After completing his education, Persius traveled around the Mediterranean, an experience that would later inspire several of his poems. He settled in Rome around the reign of Augustus and quickly established himself as a prominent member of the intellectual elite. The exact date of his death is unknown, but it is believed that he died in 94 AD. Persius was particularly influenced by the Greek poet Menippus of Athens, whose work had a significant impact on the development of Roman satire. Menippus' satirical poems often featured grotesque and fantastical elements and dealt with themes of human folly and vice. Persius was also influenced by the Stoic philosophers such as Seneca and Cato, whose teachings on virtue, duty, and the pursuit of wisdom are evident in much of his own work. These influences are evident in Persius' choice of subject matter, his use of satire as a literary device, and his exploration of themes such as the nature of humanity, the pursuit of happiness, and the search for meaning in an uncertain world. Persius' work was well received by his contemporaries, and he was praised by the likes of Pliny the Younger. However, his popularity waned in the following centuries, and his work was largely forgotten until it was rediscovered during the Renaissance. Today, he is regarded as one of the greatest poets of ancient Rome, and his work continues to be studied and admired for its wit, intelligence, and timeless themes. Alright, so what did he actually write? As I mentioned, unfortunately, not much of his work has survived the passage of time, but what we do have is pretty fantastic. Persius' surviving works include 60 epigrams, 8 letters, 15 of his 9 satires, and fragments of other poems. His major work was a collection of 9 satires, which were a type of poem that used humor, irony, and satire to critique and mock contemporary society and its vices. Each satire is a distinct work with its own unique style and themes. Some of the most famous satires include number 1, which is a dialogue between two lovers discussing the nature of desire and beauty. Number 4, which is a witty and ironic portrayal of the Roman aristocracy and their obsession with luxury and show, which is an attack on the greed and hypocrisy of moneylenders, which is a humorous and self-deprecating look at the poet's own faults and vices. And No Night, which is a defense of poetry and the poet's way of life against the criticisms of those who believe it to be an idle and useless pursuit. His 8 letters are addressed to his friend Aeneas Florus, a Roman senator and historian, and cover a range of topics, including poetry, philosophy, and politics. They provide a glimpse into the intellectual and cultural interests of the Roman elite, as well as Persius' own personality and character. Now, as I said, his epigrams are short, witty poems that often deal with themes of love, loss, friendship, and the pleasures of life. They are written in a variety of styles, including elegy, epigram, and satire. While they are not as well known as his satires, they are nonetheless an important part of his body of work and provide a different perspective on his genius. And finally, we have the fragments. Unfortunately, these are just that, fragments. But what we can see from them is that Persius also wrote an epic poem and some other kinds of poems like hymns and even some mythological tales. Okay, so what's the significance of his work? Why should you care about this guy? Well, first off, it's pretty damn funny. His work is filled with sharp wit and biting satire that will make you laugh out loud. Seriously, some of the stuff he comes up with is just genius. Plus, it's incredibly well written. You can tell that Persius was a master of language, and his command of the Latin language is on full display in his work. But it's not just funny and well written. His work is also incredibly insightful. You get a front row seat to the mind of one of the greatest poets of the ancient world. You'll see how he grappled with questions of love, life, and death, how he made sense of the world around him, and how he found beauty in the midst of ugliness. It's all there in his work. But perhaps most importantly of all, his work is incredibly relevant. The themes that he explored in his writing are universal and timeless. He wrote about love and loss, about the pain of being human, and the search for meaning in a chaotic world. And guess what? Those are still relevant today. We still love and we still lose. We still struggle with the same questions that tormented Persius in his day. His work is a reminder that we are all part of the same human family, that we all share the same joys and sorrows, and that we all search for the same things in life. So if you want to laugh, if you want to think, and if you want to feel more connected to the world around you, then read Persius. You won't regret it. Well, that's all I have for you today. But let me know your thoughts on Persius in the comments below. What did you think of this amazing poet? Do you have a favorite line or poem that really resonated with you? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.